win.
Thank you. Only one today. I'm kind of pumped out about it. I'm nervous again. All right. Oh. Whew. Talk to me.
All right, what does it feel like? Back to back, huh?
Pretty good. I think I'm trying to think, but I think this is the first of my career, so that's pretty cool. Trying not to think about it during the game, just go out there and make the saves, but it's definitely in the back of your mind. So I thought we blocked it down pretty good in the third. So shout out to the guys. It feels pretty good.
They came out and threw everything I think they had at you the first couple of periods, and then were you surprised to see them pull the goaltender twice?
Yeah, the second time I thought that was maybe a bit of a head scratcher, but I think they were on the power. Well, they were on the power play, and then it was 4-4. So yeah, I think they're just the desperate team, and you pull the goalie twice on us, we're going to score twice. So lesson learned.
You've seen this team last year and now this year. How similar are they, or are they?
You're testing my memory here.
Does it feel the same in the
Feels.
locker room like this right now?
Oh, you mean our team?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about their team.
No.
It does feel similar. Like I think we had a lot of new players at the beginning of the year. I think we had 8 rookies. So there's a bit of a break-in period, I think, where the guys need to learn the system and get to know the guys. But I think I said this after last game too. Like I can feel that swagger coming back, and I think that's a staple of our team. So I think that element is there, and that's what's important for us to win. And I think we're making a lot of strides in the right direction here.
Two-parter for you. Your head coach is really good at what he does. Is that a microcosm of the team? He kind of just leads from the top?
Yeah. Do you see his suit today too? Holy smokes. Nice suit. If you got media with him, tell him I said nice suit. Yeah, he's a pro. He's overqualified, obviously, for what he's doing, and just an excellent, leader of our team, and great for the young players. Super detailed, but keeps things fun, and everyone has a good time coming to the rink. With Disco Dan up there, so it's a huge benefit for us to have him behind the bench.
Chris, obviously confidence is an important part of this game. You feel like the team is playing with a little more confidence than you guys were at the early part of the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's kind of, as I alluded to earlier, we have 8 rookies that came in, and they need to get accustomed to not only this group, but to the league itself. Guys coming from the Czech league with Stez, and guys coming from major juniors, and so it's an adjustment. I remember my first season pro, like it's a big difference. You're going from kids to men, so it takes a little bit of time, but we have a heck of a young group of players in the locker room. So I think they've adjusted nicely, and they contribute every night. So we're fortunate to have those young guys on our squad.
And now you guys solidify your lead in the division a little bit. Pretty good position to be in at this point in the season. You guys feel like it's too early to be peaking, I imagine, or is it kind of like the right time for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you talk about that, you're kind of overthinking it. Like, we want to be playing our best all the time, and it seems like it's coming together for us right now. We're playing good hockey, so I don't really think you can be upset about that. Things are going well, and I know for my game, this is kind of the time where it's time to hunker down and find a groove here, leading up into playoffs. So I think we've been playing good hockey. Honestly, tonight, like, I don't think it was our best game we've played. We ended up coming out with a 4-0 win, which is great. But yeah, I think overall, especially over the past stretch, we've put together points in 8 straight or something like that. Is it 10 straight? There you go, 10 straight. So yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Nice, guys.
Thank you. Holy smokes. Good. Are you down here? No, good. Yeah.
Cole, first thing I asked you about the goal you scored, it was a pretty incredible pass by Max. Could you just tell us like what mind during that little sequence you guys had there?
Yeah, we obviously did some pre-scouting before, and there are a couple things that we picked on that we could beat their D-men up the ice in certain situations, and I basically just tried to beat my guy up the ice, and obviously Max Dipsy dangled his way through and slid it over to me. It was a great play by him. But yeah, obviously getting to play with him and Potsy, it's pretty fun, and I alluded to in the intermission. It's good just knowing where each other are and not even having to look lots of the time.
It was a couple weeks ago. You guys won 5-2, and that line of you and Podorowski and McCormick had the first 3 goals in that game. And I asked Dan about you guys, and he said that you guys, when you're playing well together, you might be the best line in the league. And it seems like you guys have really made a lot of progress with this line from the beginning of the season. Can you just tell us what has gone into making it work?
Yeah, we were together at the first few games of the year. Things were kind of up and down. I don't know if any of us had our best game at the beginning of the year, like from night to night basis. But as things progressed, obviously we landed back together about halfway through the year, a little before, and us being able to have a consistent lineup on a nightly basis definitely helps that, and us being able to grow our chemistry and is huge. And I think the biggest thing for us is working hard for each other to support each other around pucks, and yeah, it's been great.
So Cole, you guys have obviously got the chemistry together. Is there a key to chemistry?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously pretty easy with those two. They're real good players. So for us, it's just finding open ice. And I think in the back of our minds, like I said, we kind of know where each other are, and we're predictable enough that we're gonna support each other and be in good spots. Obviously, I played with Max quite a bit last year in the playoffs, and then adding Potsy to it, he's a world-class player in this league. So him being able to control the play and us, try to get open for him, work to get open for him has been a lot of fun.
Offensively, you guys are, top notch, but you stand up for each other. Potsy gets hit with a high hit, and you and Max were the first 2 in, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think that's just kind of the brotherhood we have in the room. I've played with Potsy the last couple of years, and been with Max for the last 3 years. So I think it's just kind of how we're built. It's not just those two. I think any guy would stick up for anyone at any time on the ice. And it sucks seeing a guy go down, but luckily enough, he was good to come back.
Talk about coach and what he means to this team. I think he's the perfect coach for the AHL. Drake said he was overqualified. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, what's he got? 2 rings, 2 Stanley Cup rings, and a whole lot of stories to boot. But he's a great leader. He understands the game. Obviously, he's been around it a long time. The game's changed, and he's progressed with it and learned some of the new styles. He knows both sides of the puck. He's very detailed in the D zone, and does a real good job of not having any gray areas for us as a group, and having a constant goal every night.
Thanks, Cole.
He's also got a strong suit game, right?
Oh yeah. I heard Dreeg say that. That was real nice. I like that.
All right, thanks, Cole.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lindy. Thank you, Max.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, it was a good game.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I was talking to, I don't know if you heard, we were talking to Cole, it was a couple weeks ago that I asked Dan about the line with you and Podorowski and Lind, and Dan was saying you guys play well together, and you guys are probably the best line in the league, and definitely showed that tonight again. Just kind of curious what it's really taken for you guys to click, because didn't seem like the line was clicking as much earlier in the season.
I think I have a lot of history playing with Lindy over the last couple seasons, and we developed a lot of chemistry, and now we've this kind of was our first chance to play with Potsy consistently, and I think now we kind of know where each other are going to be. We've kind of built that chemistry up over a handful of consistent games together, and we're just gelling and supporting each other, getting to the inside, and we're playing well together.
Is it? How about your guys' skill sets? It seems like they really gel together quite well. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean he's great up the middle, a ton of speed. He can make plays through a ton of traffic. He sets me and Lindy up a lot. Lindy can finish. I mean, both guys can finish. They can make plays. It's fun playing with both of them.
Orlovsky actually said a couple weeks ago he kind of like razzes you a little bit. He says you get a lot of open looks from him.
Yeah, well, it's when he gives me the looks, I put him in the net, so that's why he talks about it. But when I give him the passes, for some reason they're not going in. So maybe I got to talk to him about finishing a little more.
You had an awesome pass to Cole tonight. He put that one in. It seemed like that really set the tone for this game. And then you guys kind of took it from there. But obviously, you guys have really been playing well lately. This is 10 points in the standings in the last 10 consecutive games now. So it seems like you guys are playing really starting to really click together, and it's leading to some continued success. Is there really a secret for you guys, or is it just kind of playing with more confidence than the other guys playing with confidence?
Yeah, I think it's just we've built this throughout the whole start of the whole season. Like Dan's got us dialed in with our structure, and everyone knows the systems really well, and the way the young guys have developed since the start of the year, they've all hit their stride. We've got 4 lines that can contribute. Solid D. Our goalies are playing great, so I think we're just firing on all cylinders right now, and we're in a good spot.
Max, when you think about where you are right now, 26 games to go, being the leader of this group, is it a fear of peaking too early, or do you think you guys are on the right path?
I think we're on the right track. I don't think you're afraid of peaking too early. I think maybe it took us even a little bit longer this year to get to where we are now. So I think it's just continuing to build and keep doing things the right way, playing for each other, and just keep riding the wave.
You're on top of the standings in the Pacific Division. I'm sure you want to stay there. Still taking it one day at a time?
Yeah, you never want to look too far ahead and focus on how many games are left or where the standings are at. Obviously, it feels good to be in first, but you just got to chip away one game at a time.
You guys are really good offensively, your line, but I commented on earlier to Cole, when Potsy gets hit high, yeah, you two are the first 2 in. Brotherhood, just hockey, what is it all about?
Yeah, that's just the brotherhood we have in our locker room. We stick up for each other. We look out for each other out there. If other guys were on the ice, they would have done the same thing. That's just the kind of team we have.
I also want to ask you, how different is it playing, trying to catch up in the standings maybe to holding the first place lead? I'm obviously playing with a little more confidence, I'd imagine, but what are some of the differences there for you guys as opposed to being in first or where you guys were at the beginning of the year?
I think it's just, you have a little bit of confidence. Gives your team a little bit of swagger knowing that, we're where we belong, and we've done the right things to get there, and you just want to keep it going.
All right, thanks, Max.
Yeah, thank you guys.
He also said he wanted to start like every game.
Don't they all? Don't they all?
Coach, complete game tonight or just a game that you guys won?
If that's a black and white question, one way or the other, then it just a game that we won. They're a team that puts a lot of pressure on you. They're a team that forechecks hard. They're a team that their D-men are down on the walls, and that can make it kind of a sludgy, difficult game. And at times we weren't good with that. At times we were, and but it's kind of that way with San Jose. They, regardless of what their record might be or where they're at, they always give us a competitive game. They always give us a hard game. They always give us one that you're going to have to deal with that forecheck and the D down the wall, and that was a part of the story.
You guys are on top specifically in the standings now. I'm sure you want to stay there the rest of the way, but 26 games left. Is it a stretch run right now or not quite?
It feels like feels like after the month of January, we're looking down the barrel of 26, 25 games, and shortly here we'll be under 20. So it is kind of in that stretch run, and some coaches will be looking at the standings every night, and we're no different. We've finally got ourselves where we think we should be, and it's a game by game, nightly basis that each one of these games will be a part of that story.
Talked about Cole and Potsy and Max, where they played together and how good they could be when they're on their game. But tonight, I thought we saw a couple different things. I thought they were very good and patient, but they also stood up for Potsy. And I don't know how do you feel about that? Do you want Max standing up and possibly losing him for some time?
Yes.
Can you comment on just who they are right now?
Yeah, I think Lindy maybe a little bit snake bit a little bit. I think he feels that way. He's had a ton of opportunities to put the puck in the back of the net with the way those guys are playing right now, and even my first or second shift, Max made that great play to Potsy on the middle lane drive and to backdoor to Lindy. He had a great chance, which the goalie made a great save on him there. And I at that point in time was a little bit concerned that it was a continuing story for Lindy, but he's a shooter. He's a guy who gets big goals for us, and he got a similar opportunity on the second chance there and scores a big goal. So they're a dangerous line. They're all in their own way great players, and when they're playing with speed, when they're playing with tenacity, when they're competing, they're a great line. They're could be the best line in the league.
Speaking of who's playing good right now, Chris Driedger looks really confident. He looks really solid in net. Are you seeing that, and how much do you think that is from his time up with the Kraken and now coming back? Does he feel different? Do you think he noticed that?
Well, he was in Seattle for 5 weeks or so, maybe 6, and played 2 games. So he hadn't played a ton when he came back, and there's always a little concern of having not seen pucks, having not played a lot, and but I think in the 3 games now since he's been back, he's proving he's an NHL goalie. He's tonight in particular, he made 5 or 6 outstanding saves for us, and we gave them some opportunities, and Driggs is up to the task on all of them.
Sounded like you were maybe personally a little pretty happy for Cole that he was able to stick that goal based on kind of what he's been today.
He's a guy who gets big goals. He's a shooter. He's made some great plays recently to Max for a tap in and made some great passing plays. But at the end of the day, he's a shooter, and he's a guy whose shot we count on. And he's had some opportunities. Last game, he had a power play one timer hit the post, and he's had the same opportunities that he's had in the past, and they hadn't necessarily gone in for him so far this year. Tonight, like I said, that first one, I didn't want to see the same page. It's when he doesn't score, he can get away from being that shooter. He can get away from looking to pass, and so I was super pleased to see him score that goal, even be it wasn't a shot, it was a deke, but he can do that too.
Yeah, noticing that Shane left for the hallway pretty early. Any concern with that, or was it just more for a precautionary reason?
Precautionary. I can say this without having had the report. He's fine. I say that. Yes.
In what ways have you seen your rookies, your young players take the next step on an overall scale this season?
I think early on in the season they were fighting for ice time. They were fighting for their spot in the lineup. They're fighting to prove they're a part of this team. And over the course of the last month and a half, they've almost to a man really developed into being you can see what kind of players there are. Mo, he's talented, smart, intelligent, not the prettiest guy, but a guy who he's going to make a play. He's going to score the big goal. It's not going to be pretty. He's probably going to shove it 5-hole in the goalie, but he's developed into being a guy that we can count on to make a big play. Shane, I think it's great to see him play more and more games. You see his skating, you see his skill, you see his shot, you see his playmaking ability, and that's developed over the last 2 months, 3 months, and Ryan Winterton, 13 goals, I believe it was 13 tonight. I don't know if it's a silent 13 goals, but he's you heard that about him coming in, that he was just a guy who was going to make plays, was going to finish. He's good around the net, and it's you keep seeing it over and over and over again from him so far in the last month and a half. And Mel had some time out of the lineup with being injured, but I think it's pretty clear what you're going to get from Mel every night in terms of how he plays the game, his tenacity, his physicality, and he introduces himself pretty much on a nightly basis, and that's great to see. Sorry, 14.
Dan, obviously, a chunk of the season left, but where you guys are playing now, does it bring some sort of satisfaction knowing that this is what you guys are capable of? Kind of always, the first few months, is kind of searching for what you guys are, knowing you guys are capable of playing this way.
I think early on, the first 2 months, there was some searching for how good we could be and what kind of team we're going to be, and maybe a little bit relying on that's what we were in the past. And I think the fight and the struggle and some of the losses and some of the not so great games were a turning point for this group. We have to learn how to be a good team. We have to learn how to fight, and we have to learn to compete in a new way. And we've gone through the last month and a half with a pretty good record, where the guys are consistently figuring out, like, this is how we need to play. And it's a different group than last year. I think we're a little more physical, or we're a little more tenacious. We rely on that physicality to get to our game, and the guys are now now doing it on a nightly basis. So ask me that question after next game. Thank you.